So step one is normally to lift the truck up and take the wheel off, but since this truck's already lifted, it's not as big of a deal. Step two is to remove this access panel right here just to give us a little bit more space. It's, as you can see, it's 4 10mm bolts. They should just come right out. So there we go. Just gives us a little bit more space to work with. At this point you want to go up under the hood and disconnect the positive terminal of the battery so you don't electrocute yourself. So the next step is going to be moving some of these wires out of the way, and that wire that goes down here to the bottom of the starter, we got to disconnect it. Basically disconnect the solenoid connection and the actual 12-volt connection to the starter, and then we can undo the bolts that hold the actual starter to the engine and get it all out of there. The first step is to remove that nut that's up there. I used two 12-inch extensions. I actually got it from down here in front, on that angle right there. It's really not too bad to get it on. Get it off is probably going to be a little bit worse to get it on, to be honest with you. That's how you get the first 12-volt connection off. And that's the part that we're going to be replacing eventually. So starter bolt number one is right there. This guy right here. And it's going to be a 14mm socket, and you want to just take that out. And then we'll get to the second starter bolt is that guy right up there. There you go, you're basically looking right at it. And the easiest way to get to it is to build this kind of extension with a small swivel at the end, and then you can just get in there and get it broken loose. And now if we go up here, you can see starter motors ready to pop out. I just got to back that bolt all the way out, and then we will disconnect that solenoid down there, and then we will get the reman kit in there. So the final piece is to remove this little brown clip, that's the solenoid, and just move it out of the way. And so now we got to just figure out how to get this thing out of here and onto the workbench. So this is what I ended up doing. I ended up just rotating it backwards in order to just slide it out right here past the brake lines and stuff. And so there's our starter. As you can see, the unit itself is in pretty good shape. The previous owner told me he actually installed a reman unit, but we're going to open it up and see if it was actually remanufactured on the inside. We're going to take off this cover panel here. But let's get into the garage to do that before we clean this all up. So this does look like previous owner was right. He replaced this. Looks like a reman unit. It's definitely not as old as the truck, obviously. Every starter consists of fundamentally two parts. You've got the electric motor right here, and you got the solenoid, which basically tells it when to fire. So this is the starter kit we're going to be using. There's the part number. And basically it rebuilds the solenoid area right here, and we're going to see what it looks like on the inside here in a minute. Basically there's 3 Phillips head screws we're going to take off, and everything we need should be right in there. So when you pull off the cover, what you should see is this little cover. I'm going to set it aside. In here there is a plunger, which is exactly what it sounds like. And this right here, as you can see, is where the electrical contact is made, right there. So generally we're just going to clean this up a little bit and set it aside. Now if I bring you in here, you can see right there that this has already been damaged. It's already starting to wear down. Clearly it was a shoddy remanufactured job, because this side's still okay. But normally it's this one that goes, which is the main 12-volt contact. Because this guy right here simply passes power to the motor. This is right here is the receiving end from the battery. And so what we're going to do is we're going to basically replace all of this stuff right in here. So if you guys can see that. So if we open up our rebuild kit here, take a look what we have inside. We have a new main terminal block. We have a new larger surface area contact piece. And this is important because as you increase the surface area right in here, basically you get a much better connection. We have these plastic pieces. I'm not really sure what they go to. They're probably some sort of, oh, they're this guy right here, stabilizer. And then we have a new nut, new washer, and a new O-ring. So what we're going to start with is we're going to remove this nut so that we can remove this whole assembly right in here. So you're going to need a fairly thin 13 millimeter socket here, and you just want to break it loose and it should come free pretty easily. So now we just take this nut off and then we slide this out. There you can see the washer. There's our little plastic square, and there's our contact unit. So we're just going to set all of this aside. And so now we can basically replace it with this guy. So first goes the contact unit. This is actually going to be press fit on here eventually, I assume. Yeah. Then this little black square goes on here, like that. And then that sits right there. This guy sits right here. This guy sits in there. And then this guy goes on here. And it's very important to make sure that this is also a larger socket. This one's going to be a 14. But it's important to make sure that this actually gets pulled all the way flush. Otherwise, it's not going to sit in there properly. So there's kind of our finished product. And you can see it's a much larger surface area. So now all that's left is we're going to re-grease this guy and basically just reinstall everything. And so what happens is when you hit the starter, the electric current causes this connection to be made, so it pushes in, pushes this to engage, and then the starter gear spins this. So that's pretty much all there is to it. And you want to make sure that this connection on the engine side is clean. Basically, when you put the connector on, you want to make sure it's free of oil, free of dirt, and stuff like that. When you tighten it down, you want to make sure you torque it down real tight. Other than that, reassembly is pretty much the exact same as when we took it out. And that's pretty much it. It's a real easy, simple fix. Don't go out and buy a remanufactured starter unless you actually burn up the motor. Because chances are the solenoid just needs a rebuild. And it's a $10 part kit.